Yes, special good night to all our viewers on the platform. Let's hoping that you're having yourselves a beautiful night. Um, we're happy to be here with you, and we're hoping that you can share. Very important that you can share the live tonight. Very important that you share. All right. And so we're going to give you the opportunity to do so. Just bear with me. I'm just trying to get some stuff out of the way. All righty. We are in good business. I found myself in a small box that I need to get out of. But how was your day, folks? Everybody is fine. How was your day? Let's see how we can greet our people. My friend, my friend Miss Ward, my Canadian friend, happy Thanksgiving to you there in Canada. Special happy Thanksgiving to you. All our Canadians, our Canadian viewers, we want to wish you, and don't overeat. That turkey thing gets you a little drowsy. So you want to be very cautious. A good night to all. Yes. Good night, Kuti. Good night, Augustine, good night. Stephen, May, how are you doing? Jean-Baptiste, good to have you. Tony, May, Brenda, Catherine, Malcolm, Julia, Esther, Mary, Brenda, how are you? Craig. Maggie, good night, good night. Lancy Cole, popular name in St. Lucia. Also, St. Rose is a popular name. Yes, please share as you join, and let me just say to you, if you have not followed the Caribbean American page, you need to do that now. It's very important that you follow, and I'll explain to you later on. Follow, and I don't just want you to like the live broadcast, but I want you to like the page. It's very important. All the pages, Maniva page, Miss Ward's page, Mr. Charles' page, it is important that you like and follow, and I'll explain to you why we are doing that. We're not selling anything, but as I've already told you my plans here is to build the network so that we can get our soup kitchen built. And by the way, I have great news from the soup kitchen end, and I will give you an update. And my friend Ian, I hope you feel better, my friend. I hope you feel better. All right. Hermaine, hi. Joseph, Glasgow. Now, I don't want to waste a lot of time. I'm not really wasting time, but I wanted to go right in to the program tonight. And Alison Gibson, my friend from Grenada, good night to you. And I want to say publicly to Mr. VJ in India, who got baptized this week. We have been working along with him for a very long time through cyberspace, and he is now a baptized member of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. VJ, congratulations to you. Charles, hey, everybody. Good night. Maria, good night. Stanislas, good night. Let me go over to YouTube. Bless our viewers over there. Okay, the viewers are just coming in over there, so we'll wait for them to greet us. And we have Norville. Good night, sir. How are you? Good night, Norville. Good night. Please share over there on those of you who are on our YouTube channel. We're happy to have you. Not that our Facebook page is not peaceful, but you guys over there are very peaceful. Nobody bothers you. None of the hacks come over there, or what we call pines don't go over there and harass you. And so you're having a beautiful private time over on YouTube. For those of you who want to go over there, it is Caribbean American News Network, but I believe that there's a lot of fun on Facebook. A whole set of fun on Facebook, all right? But you're welcome on any of these platforms that we're on. We want to welcome all of you, all right? So, Sister Francesca, my friend from Soufriere. Oh boy, we're going to meet in the next few days. How are you? Let's hoping that you have yourselves a beautiful night. So please share the live, folks. Let's get everybody on board so that we can go into our program. And I actually pay much attention to the leaders from the United Workers' Party. I pay much attention to those who support these these programs, those who come on. And you don't have to come on with a fake profile. You have nothing to hide. All of us are out here in public, and therefore don't come on the fake profile to hide yourself from what I do not know. You know, we are decent, clean citizens, and you do not have to be ashamed of us. Come on to the live and share with the people. We don't want you just to want the votes of the people. You have the people doing all the work, and then you jump into your big jobs with all your benefits, and then sometimes you just bypass the citizens. We're exposing all this political garbage. Let's be real with the people. Be real with the people, and the people will be real with you. And that's all I can say. No time for games, no time for sports. Let us get to work. Let us get to work. Frances, good night to you. So I am very much fired up, and I'm saying again to the leaders, don't come on the fake profile and hide. There's nothing for you to hide about. Absolutely nothing. If you're with the program, get on board the program. Let us see you. Don't hide behind anything, and I'm serious. All right? No hiding place down here. Good. Now, there's a lot going on in the news. A lot going on in the news tonight. We know that the SLP had their convention on Sunday in Micoud, St. Lucia, and we know how that went down. We had the Prime Minister, Mr. Skerritt, or whatever his name is, from Dominica here in St. Lucia, warning the SLP that indeed they need to protect their victory. Because I said to you, Mr. Skerritt, he's a smart brother. You know, the script that he was given to read here in St. Lucia, he would not be able to read it in Dominica. Yes, that same script that he read that was handed to him with persons not in their community representing the people, with the victory got to be protected and all the nice things that we have heard before from the SLP people. It ain't nothing new. It is a script, folks. There's nothing to be concerned about. It's just a script. And the man is just trying to be nice to his comrades. So we're not going to focus too much on him at this time. As I said, the man is reading a script that cannot be read in Dominica. Why? Because he is an experienced politician. And he's not a dumb one. He's a very experienced politician. And he has done a lot for his people. Now, not because you're UWP, you got to say that, no, he's a Labour, so he can't do anything good. Yes, he can do something good. I'm a preacher man, and I got to tell the truth. I cannot play games with the lives of people. If something is right, it is right. If something is wrong, it is wrong. Period. And I'm not going to sell my soul for a lie. I would speak the truth. Amen? So let's settle that in the dust. But as I was saying, there is nothing to be afraid of or concerned about with the Prime Minister of Dominica. These are his friends, his comrades, and therefore he's giving them moral support. You know, when you have a baby crying and you need, the baby, you put the baby on your thing and your, whatever you call it, your shoulder, and you pat the baby nicely and say, don't worry, everything will be okay. Well, I would want my friend to do that for me, especially if I have to be reminding myself all the time that I won the elections. Now, let's listen to Mr. Skerritt, and then we will go over to a citizen from Dominica. All right? Tonight we are playing.
Because you have come to office during what many would have...
Sorry, we'll get back to that clip. I don't know what happened there. So let me just do something and get that clip going. Something went wrong. I think I was blocked from it for some reason. So we'll get back to him. We're going to reload and we are going to get back. So while we're doing that, we want you to share the live, share as much as you can, share and like. And remember, tonight you got to protect the victory. Okay? So let's go over to Mr. Skerritt, or I really don't have the name right, but let's see what he's saying.
Hope that the leaders and members of this great Labour Party will find some value in my observations. While you celebrate today, and I celebrate with you, this is also a moment to pause and take stock. Electorates across the region and the globe are less tolerant than they were before.
Now, folks, you heard what this is the Prime Minister of Dominica. This is his observation, and this is real, folks. This guy is a realist, all right? Listen to him. He is telling the full truth. He is telling you the truth. Now, listen carefully, because he is saying that the people are more educated, the people are more involved, the people at this time will demand of their leaders representation. And he understands that in Dominica. All right? He understands the pressure there.
Parties now have extremely short honeymoon periods. There is tremendous pressure to perform.
There's pressure to perform.
Voting populations are saying very clearly that political parties must not separate themselves from their people. Parties must remain true to their promises, to their political base, and to the reasons for which they were elected. Faithfulness to the people builds trust. It protects the victory and secures the future.
So let's just stop that for a while. Now, the Prime Minister of Dominica is saying to the Prime Minister of St. Lucia that the responsibility of protecting the victory lies on you, the politician, not on the people. Now, if Mr. Pear was saying to the people of St. Lucia that his party, his government will protect the victory by providing those social things that we have been speaking about. If Mr. Pear was saying to the people that we are going to protect our votes by serving you, the people, then I personally would not have a problem with that statement. I would not have a problem at all. But when you say to the people that they got to protect the victory, then we have a major problem. But we thank God for this Prime Minister who came from Dominica to warn the St. Lucia government to correct their terminology and say to them, this is what you should be saying. We as a government will protect our victory by serving you, the people. Now, this is what he's saying to them. Now, they're jumping and clapping. Let me tell you something. You can sit in a crowd and still be by yourself. You hear me? You can be in a crowd and still be by yourself. You can hear and still not hear because you are so blinded by colors. And that's why the United Workers' Party got to be careful that they themselves are not blinded by power and by color, or they can suffer the same fate. So let's go back to Mr. Prime Minister from Dominica, who is doing an excellent job so far in correcting the terminology of the St. Lucia Labour Party, in saying to the government, you got to protect the victory, not the people. The people placed you in that position so that you can serve them, you can work for them. That is how you protect the victory. So let's go on.
Every politician has a political shelf life or expiry date. Let this man of long standing caution you that if you do not put the people first, if you do not deliver, you will quickly grow very stale. And you will find that those who welcomed you with cheers will just as easily send you on your way with jeers.
Sorry, folks. I'm laughing too early in the game. So, now you understand. Now, folks, you got to think. Let's think. Don't get all hyper and high blood pressure and everything else. Just listen to the brother. Not because he has a red shirt, you think that he's bad. The man is making sense. He's here as the schoolmaster to correct the ruling party. All right? So we are happy with this correction. He's saying, look, if you don't work, the same people who are sitting there clapping at you and cheering you on are the same people that will cheer you out. And that is the heat that we are seeing right now. The people are cheering this government out of office. But many are too blind to see what is happening. Many have removed their ear from the ground, and the air is now in the party. So, for instance, somebody will look at the event and they will say, whoa, a lot of people was there. Look at our support. Those are your people. Those are your soldiers. So don't judge your success based on the group that is all dressed in red. There's a larger group outside, which are two sets of people, the United Workers' Party and independent voters. And I don't believe the independent voters are that much. And there is another group, there's three of them, sorry. You have a group that did not go out to vote. They are not yours. They are United Workers' Party voters who did not go out to vote. So I believe that some strategists or political analyst is saying something to these men, because clearly these guys are in election mood. They are in campaign mood. They're not in working mood. It's clear. They have changed their mantra to protecting our victory, securing the future. So from putting you first to protecting our victory and securing the future. So you see that that change after a year. Did you see it? All right, so let's go back. Please share the live. Let's listen a little more to our Prime Minister from Dominica. And I hope that there are some Dominicans who are on who can call our line, call the hotline, and let us know how this Prime Minister is doing in his country. Let us know. All right? So please listen.
This Central Labour Party, like all other political parties, has a limited time to deliver on the promises you made, to fulfill your mandate and to create your legacy. Believe me, my dear comrades, when I tell you that the time passes very quickly.
Warn them.
1 year has flown by, and 4 more will come very fast behind the first one. If you're putting your people first, then their business becomes your business. When you fail to do this, you will find that the people will withdraw the warm welcome they have given to you. I say to the SLP members of Parliament today, I know in the last 15 months or so, the scales would have fallen off your eyes, and you have come to truly appreciate and understand the difficulty, demands, enormity, responsibility, and stress of political leadership.
So, folks, I am telling you, I doubt it that any of these ministers and supporters was listening to this man. I don't believe that they were listening to him. You know what he's saying to them? You all what, folks, I'm going to break it down. He was saying to them that you all were shouting and protesting and screaming at every opportunity. You all were having more press conferences than the sitting government. He said to them, now you are in the hot seat. The scales have fallen off your eyes, and you now realize that you got to lead. But there is one man that did not get the memo that he's the prime minister. That man did not get that memo as yet. No. So let's go on. Listen to the man, the prime minister of Dominica.
Ahead, when the going gets really rough, and trust me, it will, you must do as I have done and remember 3 fundamental political truths. First, that nobody dragged you into elective politics. You are here on your own will. You chose to serve, and having so chosen, serve you must. Second, never forget that those who put you where you are depending on you to make a difference in their lives and in the fortunes of the country. Third, always be conscious that the public rejects many who offer themselves for public office, but you have been accepted. You are therefore honored and privileged to have been elevated to some of the highest offices in the land. And as the lawyers say, he who enjoys the benefit must bear the burden.
Good. But listen to me. This government, they do not want the burden of leadership. I don't believe so. And 2, they're not leading at this time. This Dominican prime minister this guy is hitting the nail on the head. He's no joke. I believe they should have brought Rav Gonsalves from St. Vincent, because this Dominican prime minister, he understands where the Dominican people are at this time. And he understands that they have zero tolerance. Zero tolerance for lack of leadership. And you will never hear this prime minister in Dominica saying to the Dominicans, it is only 2 years. You will never hear this prime minister in Dominica saying to them, things rough, give us some time, give us a little more time, please, I beg you, give us time. You will never hear this prime minister saying to his people, go and protect the victory, y'all go and protect the victory. You will never hear that. This man is, as we speak, building an international airport in this country. This man is right now providing decent homes for his citizens. This man, and he's not doing everything right, folks, but he understands good governance. Yes, he does. Listen to me, folks. I'm saying to you, if you miss anything, if you miss this man's speech, then you miss out on a whole set of stuff. And I wish the United Workers' Party leaders would be listening to this man in red. This man in red. Because all he is saying, some of these same United Workers' Party leaders have failed there. They have not been on the ground with the people, except when it is close to elections. Many of them were full of themselves and felt that they were high and mighty. And here is a man reminding all politicians, including himself, that you have an expiry date. And that is when the election bell has given that signal that it's time to pack your stuff, because anything can happen. And anything will happen when the people rise up Anything can happen when the people decides whether their lives are much better, their communities are much better, their health is much better than it was, their homes, their salaries. And if they see that their lives are indeed better, then they will vote you. And this man is speaking the truth. And it is time for you, United Workers' Party people and the SRP people, to start understanding that this is a different era of politics. It is a totally different era of politics. It's not a politics where you can send your goons on Facebook to curse every second. That will not work anymore. That era is gone. The people will be more educated. The people will be more informed. The people has a preacher man. A preacher man, yes, a preacher man. The people has a preacher man on this platform that will provide them free service, free airtime. We don't need any license from any government. And we have the best internet system in the United States, the strongest. And you can see it on your smart devices. And by the way, those of you with smart TVs, put it on. Put it up. No one can take your license from you. They have a voice among the Christians. And I'm not cussing anybody out or calling anybody out of their name as yet. So let's just stay in character for now until we get closer down. But the people have a voice, and I am not intimidated or afraid by anyone. I have an expiry date also. And my expiry date is when God says it is time. But for now, we're going to do the people's work. This is the people's house. This is the people's parliament. And this is the People's Supreme Court. This is the CCJ. And while the CCJ have not dealt too well with election petitions from the oppositions of different countries, while they have not done too well in bringing forth those cases, because they know that these cases, you got to deal with them within a certain time frame. The CCJ knows that. And there are cases in St. Vincent and other parts of the country, the Caribbean, that should have been heard already. And because there is more Indians or there are more supporters of this party sitting there. Now, I'm just speculating, ain't it? I could be wrong, I could be right. They have not done too well with elections, with the election petitions. No, they have not. So I will not even talk on that as yet. That's for a whole different show. And while we believe that the people, when it comes to constitutional reform, the people must be engaged. The people must be informed. You have these kings and nobles who believe that they don't need the people. All they need is their supporters in the House to amend the Constitution, to remove St. Lucia from into the CCJ. We don't need the people. Let's bypass the people. Let's just talk about it in the House. And if they hear, they hear. That's what they're doing. Anything that has to do with the Constitution, I believe should be dealt with by the people of St. Lucia, the citizens. No government should have that authority because they are more in the House. Look at a mess the country would be in. And if this was the United Workers' Party, there would be marches and the whole place would have been shut down. You saw what happened during COVID, how they were cussing and saying that the prime minister took away their rights and they had freedom and the constitution was being trampled on and his feet was on our neck. You heard all the fight, but now there's no foot on the neck with the constitution of St. Lucia. Well, we asked the court and they say we can do it. Even though these courts say that you can do it, it's not right. Consult with the people. I heard Alvina Reynolds in the Constitutional Park saying on the radio, shouting, consult. She had a placard, consult. All the consultants are gone because they're being paid now. All the consultants are quiet. The constitutionalists, they're quiet. Where are the lawyers? Where are the human rights people? Tutmun, everybody gone quiet. And you're telling me this is right? And as a preacher man, I got to close my mouth and go home? Let's listen to what Mr. Alan Shastny had to say, I think last year or some time ago, on this constitution, this change to the CCJ. Let's hear what Mr. Shastny has to say about it.
The administration should allow a referendum to decide whether St. Lucia should replace the London-based Privy Council with the Caribbean Court of Justice as the final appellate court. Prime Minister Philip J. Pierce says St. Lucia can accede to the CCJ through a 2/3 parliamentary majority, which his government now enjoys with 15 of the 17 seats. The ex-Prime Minister, on the other hand, who declined to articulate the UWP stance on the constitutionality of the process, recommends a popular vote.
First of all, I'm not prepared at this point to have a party's position as to whether he's required to have a referendum or not. But I would be surprised that a government that was elected on the platform of putting people first and has confidence in what the people have to say, that on something as important as this, that he would not want to have a referendum. So what's the fear?
Established in 2005 and headquartered in Trinidad and Tobago, the CCJ settles disputes between CARICOM member states and serves as the highest court of appeal on civil and criminal matters for Barbados, Belize, Dominica, and Guyana. Shastny argues that such a significant undertaking here requires a plebiscite.
Why wouldn't you want to have a referendum on something as important as this decision? And so, if in fact the fear is that people would not be informed enough and may make the wrong decision, then that's an indictment against the government. And I don't think that that should be used as the excuse. I think that on important issues like this, that there should be a referendum by the people, but whether legally a referendum is required, I need more consultation within the party to give a final determination on that.
Now, Mr. Shastny is right, and you say this man don't love his country. But here is one who loves his country, Mr. Philip J. Pierre, and he's bypassing the citizens of St. Lucia to get to the CCJ. All he's going with is the majority of his members in the Senate, in the House. And here is a man that they're saying don't love their country, and is not one of us. Here's this man petitioning on behalf of the citizens of St. Lucia, saying to the government, consult the people. If you're so sure about this thing, consult the people. And I'm hoping that Mr. Pierre can say to the people of St. Lucia the cost, the difference in cost in this move. Tell us, folks, share the live. Tell us what's going on there. Now we switch in, we're going. Let's go back to, let's switch a minute. Let's get back to the Senate. All right? Most of you heard that Mr. Senate President was basically fired. Someone say not by the government. He was fired by the government. Period. The Prime Minister had no choice. I don't know what's all the jumping up and down about. He had no choice. The man was charged. The man was arrested. He was charged. The man slept in the calaboose for some nights. And at the end, he was charged. I'm not saying he's guilty of anything. I don't know what he's guilty of, but I know the charges. And so the Prime Minister had no choice but to call Mr. Governor, Acting Governor General, and say to Mr. Acting Governor General, we got to revoke this man's thing. And that was done. So let's go to a report from News Force HTS.
In firing Senator Stanley Felix after the now former Senate President was formally arrested and charged by police for allegedly perverting the course of justice. The acting Governor General, acting on the advice of the Prime Minister, has revoked the well-known attorney's senatorial appointment. On Thursday, the Prime Minister's office, in a statement confirming the arrest of the former Class 3 Central MP hopeful, indicated that a further statement would be forthcoming at the appropriate time once there was more information. Following news of the laying of charges, the Office of the Prime Minister, in a press release late Friday, October 7, 2022, made a declarative statement on the unfolding events.
On Friday, October 7, 2022, Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre learned that the President of the Senate, Mr. Stanley Felix, was formally charged by police under Section 376 of the Criminal Code of St. Lucia.
Folks, I don't even want to hear from this person. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear anything. This is after the fact. But just a correction to, I don't know if we have Dominicans under the live, but Miss Dominicans, I am not endorsing this Prime Minister of Dominica. All right? I'm just pointing out some of the things that he has been doing. I know that there's a whole set of other stuff that he's not doing, and he's doing the opposite. He's messed up, because I was just following a report with the passport issues and the Indian fugitive that there was no transparency. This fugitive was in Dominica, and this guy kept Dominicans in the dark. So I know that he's not too nice, but I am trying to show you that he is doing a very good job here in St. Lucia. That's all I'm saying. You might be catching your head or your nose over there, but the man is doing very good here in St. Lucia. So maybe you all should send him over to St. Lucia to be the Prime Minister. Maybe you know what? Why don't you do that? But I'm not saying in any way that I'm giving him any endorsement, because I do not subscribe to red. Sorry, I use the word blood, but red. All right? So let's just move on from that. And let's go to, let's just get someone from Dominica on our platform. Let's go to this gentleman who appears to have a UWP sign on him, and he's talking about the grocery price. So let's go over to this brother by the river. Okay, we just lost that also. I don't know what is going on, who is messing with our system, but we're going to reload it. According to the people, we will wheel and we're going to come again. So let's go over to him.
Running Dominica. The lines carried. 20 years we have a cost of living that is destroying Dominica. You mean to tell me $4.50 per hour and $200 shopping? It is month end. So sad for us in Dominica. The world have to know how we're living in this crisis in Dominica. The world must know what is happening, and somebody have to put it out. $200 shopping month end in Dominica. $4.50 per hour. In Antigua, $7.50. In St. Kitts, $8.50. And see what I have. I want the world to see what I have for my $200. That is a box of juice. That is a braise for $10. $10 ICI. We deliver ICI currency in the Caribbean, in Dominica. Here we have some chips for children. Here we have $10 grapes. Where people foreign grapes in the European countries, in Guadeloupe next door to us. Here we have 2 bottles of water. One is Tropito water, Dominica manufactured water. Jamaica manufactured water. The Jamaica water is $1.90. They have to export it from Jamaica. They have to import it in Dominica with custom duty, $1.90. And we have the Dominica manufactured water without paying tax on the port, $3. $3 for it. See the cost of living. See how we live in Dominica. Our own manufacturing products are more expensive than an import product. How can a country move forward? How can that country go somewhere in that world? The Prime Minister not seeing that. But he's seeing to give you $2,000. He's seeing you to bribe you in all different ways. And have a $4.50 in our pocket. That is why our people have been leaving Dominica. They have no choice but to leave the country. They are running us out of our country to go and work in Antigua for $7.50 an hour. In St. Kitts, we are all about the Caribbean. Dominica just will be empty under that lying Prime Minister. That's why we have to take them out. There we have that juice there again. That juice. There we have the sugar. $2.43. You will have to see what is happening. Macaroni, $3. You will have to see. $5. $5 for this. That is about $6. A Colgate for you to brush your teeth. A Colgate so that your mouth won't smell. $14 for that? $14 the world, The people in America, my loving people in America. $14, We have a corn beef for $10, One corn beef for $10. $4.50 per hour, right? You need 3 hours of work to buy one corn beef. You have a mackerel for $7. One mackerel for something, almost $8. Right? You need 2 hours of work in Dominica for you to buy a mackerel. You have milk. Milk, $5.95. 2 hours of work to buy just a little handful of milk in Dominica. You have lentils, $4.80. You need 2 hours of work for you to buy that amount of lentils in Dominica. You have milk again. You have a soap, which is $2. $2. You have the sardine. One sardine for $5 in Dominica. One sardine for $5. How can we pay for one sardine? Where we will go in that country? Don't talk to the Prime Minister about bringing down tax on the port. When they bring down tax on the port for basic needs, that's going to be cheaper. We're going to have more money in our pocket. We're going to have change. We're going to be able to buy more. Here we have tuna. Another $5 again. Tuna. Baked beans. Another $4 again. You see? Vienna sausage, $3. How much you buying it in America? How much you buying it in America and the rest of the country in the Caribbean? A lot of these things there are cheaper in St. Lucia, are cheaper in Trinidad. Where it is the passage is much longer and it is cheaper. That's how they're destroying us today. Tell me, $200 shopping, $4.50 per hour. How can you live in a country like that? You must leave the country. I do not have meat. There is no chicken. There is no rice. There is no red beans. They're missing the entire supermarket for me. How can you live? And you have children. How can you live? Boxes empty. $200 shopping. I want the world to see. $200. How can we live like that? Show the world. There is the receipt. I'm not lying. There is the receipt. Show the world the receipt. Look the shopping. Look all the items and their prices. You know? How can you live in a country like that? And the Prime Minister wants to make the world think that Dominica is good. Everything is happening all right. They want to be millionaires. They want to have all the country money. And they want to have the people poor so that you could come and beg them. So when you cannot buy meat now, you have to go to them and tell them, you can't buy meat, but you buy the water, but you buy the juice. That is how they want you to live in a country. How can people be independent in that country? And they want to send them another 5 years again to oppress the people. That is a shame, so the world have to see. The world have to see how we live in Dominica. How we are living. Things they are getting for nothing. Things they are buying in packets and we have to buy it in single in a country like that. So if you're working for further...
So let me just say something here. So there, listen to me, I'm sitting listening to this brother and my soul I'm telling you, this is scary. This is sad, and I believe both Ralph Gonsalves, Mr. Skerritt, Mr. Pear, these folks need to be fired. We have no excuse. They need to be removed. They need to be fired. Now, this clip, I suspect it was way before COVID. Can you imagine what the Dominicans are going through at this time? Can you imagine what Dominicans, the opposition leader just stepped down from his position, gave up on the people. Opposition did his best. Did his best. But because these people are experienced politicians, they know how to play the game. But I am saying to you that that game will come to an end. In St. Vincent, it is worse than Dominica. It is worse than St. Lucia. And Mr. Dominican Prime Minister said to the people of St. Lucia that there is Labour Party has taken over the Caribbean. Now, if Labour Party takes over the Caribbean, it means that the Caribbean is dead. Ain't it? If this is what we are seeing, where people as prime ministers are saying to you, there is nothing we can do with the cost of living. You got to take it or leave it. That's what they're saying to you, the people. Then they come back and they say to you, protect the votes. While mothers cannot get milk, cannot send their children to school, their prime ministers and their leaders are saying to them, have patience with us. In other words, let us get enough money and let us put in enough time so that once we spend 1 or 2 terms, we'll get benefits from the state for the rest of our lives. That's what they're saying to you. Give us more time in politics. Protect the victory. Give us a little more time so that we can get benefits and we can get a little more fatter, if that's a word, than we are. While you, the people, not even the crumbs from the table you're getting. Because I am sure with all the bacchanal that they had in Micoud, that Scary and these hierarchies, or whatever you want to call them, they did not eat from the same food. I'm just speculating. I am sure before that they went to some high-end restaurant and drink expensive wine because you got to take care of guests when you bring them in. And you, the people, can't even get chicken back. Chicken back is now a luxury food in the Caribbean. And if you are not careful in Dominica, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent, guess what? You will have to go to a hotel and pay $100 and something for a plate of chicken back. That's how bad it seems it's going to get. So it is time for Dominicans to stand up and demand more of their politicians. It is time for Vincentians to sit to Mr. Ralph Gonsalves, and he's there in St. Lucia, to say to him, you need to retire. You're too old for this now. Go and spend some time with your family. Spend your time in church. Spend your time repenting. How dare you politicians believe, because you are from a Labour Party, that the country can only be governed by you? How dare you think so? How dare you? So Dominicans, and that's why I need you all to listen to the program carefully. Don't jump to conclusions. Listen and learn. And that's why sometimes we don't make it, because we are quick to get upset and we are quick to get mad, and we miss the message. We are quick to attack the messenger and we miss the message. So I want you to, when you come onto this live, just focus. Just focus. And feel free to cuss me off at the end of the live if I'm not making sense, but just focus. We are just midway. We're just midway. All right, I just wanted to say that. But Mr. Prime, well, based on what this gentleman said, we won't want Mr. Skerritt to come to St. Lucia anymore. So we took away that invitation, and we will send him to the Dominican Republic or Nicaragua or somewhere in Nigeria to do that. Because I'm sure if they go in these countries and try this garbage, that they will learn. All right? They will learn. Now, let's go back to Mr. Prime Minister from Dominica. I come loaded today, folks. Very loaded. Let's go.
Linton, the leader of the opposition in Dominica, has slammed the government of Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit for not being forthcoming on the issue of Mehul Choksi. Raising questions now over his presence in the country, he spoke to WION's principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibal exclusively. Listen in.
Where did these facts come to you? In a sense, has the government briefed? Has the government, your government, in a sense, informed you about what has been transpiring? Because your government has only officially come out with one release confirming his presence and also interestingly saying that he is a citizen of India. So what do you have to say about two things? First, of course, your government briefing you about the developments, the facts you have mentioned, and also the fact that he has been mentioned as a citizen of India by your government.
The government has not been forthcoming with any information regarding this matter. The government has essentially kept its people in the dark, and it has been left to the people to try through the sources of investigative journalism and so on to find out what they can. And we have been doing that. So it is based on official documentation from the government system that has been leaked to certain individuals that we know. We have a good idea of what transpired and what went down. So that while, let me say clearly, the only reason why the government would want to be keeping this under wraps and not wanting the people to know about it is because the government is embarrassed by the actions it took to facilitate this particular transaction.
If, hypothetically, I'm saying that if the court said that he illegally came into the country and, of course, the courts say that he should be repatriated specifically to India, will you support the government stance, your government stance?
We're not for a moment in the opposition saying that Mehul Choksi should not face justice. The charges against him are serious, and those charges need to come before court. He needs to have his day in court, and the Indian authorities need to have the chance of prosecuting these matters in the court. However, what we're saying is that in our part of the world, there's something called rule of law, and there's a way in which these matters are handled.
For more on this, we are now being joined by our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal, who, of course, has been closely tracking the story. Siddhant, you have spoken to an opposition figure in Dominica, and he has criticized the government for not being forthcoming about information regarding Choksi. Tell us more.
Well, the entire issue has become a political hot potato in the Caribbean, not just in Dominica, but also in Antigua as well. But talking about the top opposition leader who has spoken to WION, he clearly slamming his government for not giving the facts on what is happening on the ground. But it is now up to the D-Day, that is 2nd of June at 6:30 p.m. The entire proceeding will start. Today is the day that we'll see. The morning has just broken in Dominica. Today the affidavits will be filed by the respondents and if by the petitioner as well, if they would like to file against what the respondents had filed, and that is what is expected to happen. But other than that, it looks like that India will be building a strong case. We know that a private plane has landed in Dominica, which of course came via Delhi and Madrid and reached the country, and it has Indian officials with the legal documents. These legal documents is to tell to the courts there that he is an Indian citizen who has run away from the law and of course has been involved in the mega PNB scam, and it's high time that he be sent to India, and that is what India's focus has been. Interestingly, both the government of Dominica and the government of Antigua, Prime Minister of Antigua, have been saying that he is a citizen of India. This given the fact that when it comes to his citizenship for Antigua, that the Prime Minister has said that is not settled. This is still unsettled issue.
Right, Siddhant. Now, what is the current legal recourse that is available to Choksi in Dominica at the moment? Is there any clarity when he will be extradited to India? We know that an 8-member multi-agency team from India is in Dominica to bring him back.
Well, as of now, 2 times that the court has taken the issue, but that was largely formality, and talked about how he should be given the hospitalization if he requires, and he was indeed taken to the hospital as well. But tomorrow will be a kind of a D-Day when the habeas corpus petition will be taken by the court, and court will decide as to what will happen next. as of now, the charges he faces is illegal entry into Dominica, and that in a sense decides the case, because there were of course 2 other cases as well.
Okay, folks, that's a different story there. But how do you get into Dominica illegally from India? So that's a whole different kettle of fish there that was going on. So let's go back to our news. Let's go to Mr. Pear and some of his remarks.
Of July 26, 2021.
Okay, so we have a problem there. We keep having these issues and we got to reload ever so often, all right? So just bear with me. I suspect it's the time that they were queued in that they're giving us some issues there. But let's go back and see if we can get some of the clips from Mr. Prime Minister. Y'all just enjoy, okay, folks? Don't get mad. Okay, don't get mad. We're coming. Just that the system got to be reorganized. Okay, let's see what we have here now.
Former Prime Minister and Parliamentary Representative for Vieux-Fort South, Dr. Kenny Anthony. Sir Julian Hunt, former President of the United Nations and Parliamentary Representative for Grosile. Other members of the table, First and Deputy, political leaders and the Deputy Prime Minister, members of the Diplomatic Corps, delegates, comrades, all, good afternoon. Let us thank God for the opportunity to meet in person here today in Micoud for our conference. It's the first time since 2020 that we are meeting in person since your great victory of July 26, 2021. We have yet to celebrate in true labor style. So today, let's tell the UWP in resounding tone, Flambeau, allez, allez, allez. Flambeau, zot ped. Say it again, zot, Flambeau, you lose. You lose, Flambeau, ped.
All right, sorry about that, folks. I had the system muted. Okay, I do apologize. All right, sorry about that. My fault. Okay, so Mr. Pear give a reminder to the Flabo folks that you lose. So I want to remind the Flabos that you lose. You must be reminded that you lose. Good. The good thing about that statement is that the people cannot hold the Flabo government responsible for what is happening to them now. So I would say to Mr. PM, St. Lucia got the message, and not only St. Lucia, but the world got the message that Flabo lose. Flabo have lost before. You, Mr. Pear, your government have lost before. So thank you for the reminders that Flabo lose. So Flabo be reminded, Zoped. Y'all are not in power. Zoped. Good. So now that we have set that up, Mr. Pear, please fix the roads. You won. Please, you said you're going to finish the hospital. Finish the hospital. You won. That strainer that you have in St. Lucia as an airport, You won. Let's get to work. There are families on the island who are hungry, have not received any support from the COVID response money. You won. They are waiting. Mr. Pear, you promised the people that if you were in government, you would have given them $1,500. Flabo, you lose. You won. Provide them with that money. Mr. Pear, you won the elections. No more excuses like you're in opposition. No more excuses that there is no money, we can't fix the roads, we can't, you have patience with us, give us more time. You won. Flabo lose. So I have to remind you, Mr. Prime Minister, you won. So all the discussions that we're having tonight, it is because you won. Get to work, sir. By the way, I like your shirt. But get to work. There are St. Lucians without shirts on their backs. Get to work, you won. Stop protecting the victory and get to work. You won. Time is running out. And guess what? My predictions is that the special prosecutor guy, his time, he will have enough time and he will be expired and nothing will be done. Because it's going to take a while to get everything set up. You won, Mr. Man. Instead of cussing off Mr. Shastny in the house and playing baby house and hide and seek and all these games that you have been playing for the past year or so in the parliament, you should have been working with your cabinet. You should have been working for the St. Lucian people, not cursing and giving Mapui. You wasted time 1 year in Mapui. And now we found out that there are over 4 senior citizens that lost their lives with COVID, and that is private. You won. The party that lost would have given updates. Every day we would be getting updates. Every day, all of us, the people of St. Lucia, we would know what is going on. We would know that there's an increase in COVID. We will know that there's an increase in death. The people would know. You are in power now. Why we are not knowing? You won, sir. Get to work on behalf of the people, sir. You won. You won. And I heard the numbers, the age range of those who lost their lives, 80-something-year-old, 70-something-year-old. Guess what? Because of the recklessness, everybody wants carnival and to jump and to whine and to be naked in the streets. And because of that pressure, and because some, I don't know, maybe my earbud is not working well, but it seems as though that you have people in your cabinet who own some of these carnival costumes. Maybe they're in your office. And what happened? You sacrifice elderly people for excitement and entertainment. When the other prime minister, who lost, by the way, was busy trying to protect the people of St. Lucia. You folks were in the streets protesting that he don't like the people. You won. The people lost. And they have lost their loved ones in the streets with gun violence. You won, Mr. Prime Minister. 1 dead in Dennery. You won. They have lost their loved ones, Mr. Prime Minister. You won. Families have lost their income support. You won. Families are still waiting for their house to be rebuilt. You won. Millions of dollars was given for home rehabilitation. You won, Mr. Prime Minister. Now we are demanding that you work because you won. So let's go back to you won.
This is what they cannot understand. They can't understand that the people have spoken. It's labor time. It's the people's time. What time is it? Today, I will speak to you and we'll look at what your party has achieved over the last year. We'll examine the challenges with confidence and we'll look into the future of our country.
Now, the future of the country is, folks, you go and protect the victory and secure the future. In other words, all those of you who voted, ain't nothing coming for y'all. So, you should go out and protect the victory to secure your own future. You hear me? Good. But I still maintain that the Dominican Prime Minister, who can't read that script in his own country, came and he did a tremendous job in reminding politicians that their time is limited. And Mr. Skerritt, he's a smart dude because he's watching all the excitement and he's saying, boy, y'all don't know how much trouble y'all are in. These are serious times for leadership. The people are watching. And yes, you will remind them that they lose. But the people that you're reminding that they lose are St. Lucians also. There are over 30-something thousand St. Lucians who voted. And all you do is rub it into their skin that their vote caused them to lose. They lose. These are voters who were part of a democracy of a country. You think you're telling the Flabo that they lose? You're telling St. Lucians that they lose? I don't think we realize as human beings how important words are. Now, I ain't no scientist. I speak broken English. And I never attempt to bite my tongue with words like some talk show hosts who never went to school for 1 week. No, I'm not fighting anybody who didn't go to school, but when they come on and having live programs and talking a whole set of garbage, then you got to remind them that not even a kindergartner, if that's a word, would reason the way some of them are reasoning. But thanks to Facebook, everybody can become a journalist. Everybody can become a broadcaster. Tout le monde savent broadcaster. I read a note where one said that the CDB or whatever it is projects 9% growth, and the person is trying to say that St. Lucia is going to have some big growth because the thing said region. And I don't like to call people fools and idiots. But if you would take the time to understand what the region means, the region is not only St. Lucia. The last time I checked, the constitution was not changed and the flag was not changed and the name of St. Lucia was not changed. And this is what I'm talking about. And the person says, oh, tell them to defend that. Tell them to defend that. How can you defend ignorance? Anybody who defends ignorance should be given an injection or something. Because I said to you, there's you know, you can lack information and you call yourself ignorant because you're ignorant of the fact. But two things I don't like to mix together: stupid and ignorant. You see those two things? They can't mix when you're stupid and you're ignorant. And I'll explain. When you're ignorant, you don't have the information at hand. But when you're stupid and you're ignorant, the information is there, but you're not taking the time to go get the information. So you're stupid and you're ignorant. Now, I didn't call anybody stupid or ignorant. All right? My head was just going off and I decided to say what I just said. But please don't take it personal. But that's me personally. I hate to see stupidness and ignorance together. It's a bad recipe. The information is in front of you. You can see the person with a gun trying to kill you, but you're still telling yourself, no, the person loved me. Why they love me? Because they're dressed in red. That's my family party color. The person is saying to you, I will kill you. But because they're in red, you're not even seeing the danger. So for me, you're stupid and you're ignorant. Well, not you. People on Mars. Please, don't take me personal. I'm just brainstorming in my head. I'm just trying to brainstorm. Those two things don't work, and I know for sure they will get you in trouble. And, I'm trying to look at the live while I'm speaking. So let me see. I see my friend Anthony came. So I don't know what he's saying. Oh, Pastor, he said that I'm losing respect. Mr. Anthony, let me tell you something. I don't disrespect anybody. And if you think the truth is disrespecting, I sure hope that you're not from Mars and you're surely not stupid and ignorant at the same time. And that's my prayer for you, that you're not from Mars and you're not stupid and ignorant. But I love you. And I would think that you're not. All right? Because once you're under this live, you're intelligent. All right? So we don't want to expel you for being stupid and ignorant at the same time. So my advice to you is to just remain calm, okay? So let's go back to Dominica. You all want us to go back to Dominica for a minute? 1 minute in Dominica, all right? No, we don't block people over here. We have a call. Let's take the call now, and then we will call you on the air. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
I just have a question for Garfield. I want to know. Yeah, Garfield.
Go ahead, caller. Repeat your question.
Are you an ordained minister in the Seventh-day Adventist Church?
Am I an ordained minister in the Adventist Church? That's not your business right now. It has nothing to do with the discussion. But go ahead. Any more questions?
No, don't say it. Listen, it's a question. So if you're a minister, if you're ordained, what is wrong? He's saying that yes, I am, no, I am not.
No, I'm not going to answer that. I'm not in a job interview. That's personal.
No, that's not personal.
No, you don't tell me what it is. I am saying to you tonight that you are asking me my personal business, and you should refrain from that. Now, let's stick with the issues that we're discussing.
So then what are you going against when the Bible says you must be ready to...
Sir, I am not doing Bible class now, and I do not think that you're my theological teacher. So let's go ahead. We're not having Bible class. We're dealing with social issues.
No, I'm trying to, you have to be ready for any question.
No. There's a limit. And I know you smart people, SLP, what you do. Okay. You're trying to discredit me by asking me if I'm a pastor.
The thing is, if you're a minister, you're dealing with social issues, you should know that the Bible says...
Do not tell me about the Bible, sir. You're not my professor. Let's deal with the social issues.
No, but we're talking about social issues in the last days. These are, whatever you are seeing there, these are social issues. And then to address these social issues, it's gonna take it's gonna take divine power and whatnot in order to deal with this.
It also will take human effort to correct some of these issues that we're having in the society.
I agree with you. It will take human effort, but looking at what kind of humans are you looking at? Because it's going to take godly humans. Maybe
Listen to me.
Start from you.
Okay, I like where you are. I like where you are now. Let's stick with that point, right?
Maybe it's going to start from you, but you don't have to be biased.
No. Don't tell me I am biased tonight. Listen to me. My agenda is biased. I am biased tonight.
Yeah, because you are trying to point out social issues. Yes, I agree there are social issues, but then what is your train of thought, which is towards the United Workers' Party, Alan Shastney? You know, that's what you're trying to
Okay,
promote.
good. So let's talk about Alan Shastney now.
No, you are not trying to look at social issues and even help the government in dealing with the social issues.
So you're telling me what I'm not doing? That's what you're telling me?
Yeah, but you see, you're trying to be tactical. You're trying to under these shows and trying maybe there's some stuff towards it that you're trying to bring to people as though somebody else can do better than, you know?
Yeah.
No. The social issues that impact everyone, it should be a concern, yes, to everyone. And when you look at the social issues, some of the leaders have created that.
So you agree now that it no longer needs divine intervention, it needs a new leader to fix it.
But it needs divine intervention. It needs a collaboration.
So you're saying that Mr. Alan Shastney mashed up the place so bad that what?
Yeah, Alan did a lot of wrong and injustice to the country.
Okay, caller, are you a SLP?
I am not a SLP. I am not a SLP. I'm not a UWP. I'm just an individual who are talking what.
So guess what? I will tell you, you're not a patriot.
I am a patriot. I'm a concerned citizen. I'm a Lucian to the board.
Yeah, Lucian. Okay. Did you vote the last election?
I did not get to vote. I did not get to vote.
So you didn't get to vote?
I was a voice. I was a voice for my people. Could see what was going on. It was not right.
Okay.
What Alan Shastney was doing.
Let me ask you a question.
Was not right.
Let me ask you a question. Are you seeing anything that Mr. Pear is not doing that he should be doing?
If I am seeing anything that is so far, I think Mr. Pierre for a year plus, I think he has stayed well the country.
Oh, he did well?
You don't see. Oh, so far he's doing well.
Okay, good. That's your opinion, and I respect it, okay?
Yes, definitely.
But I don't want you to ask me about my credentials. That has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now.
Listen, my brother, listen to me. You have to be there. If I am I am an ordained elder, okay, into the Seventh Adventist Church. And if somebody comes to me and asks me about my faith, about whatever, whether it is on political issue or whatever, I should be ready to do it because I have nothing to hide.
No. But you, listen to me, you that's not your intention here to share faith. Your intention is to question whether I'm an ordained minister or not.
Listen.
But I got to go, caller.
You said you are a pastor of the Seventh Adventist Church. I'm asking you whether you are ordained because I've heard it from you that you said you're a pastor. You belong to a church.
I never told you I'm a pastor at any church. I never said that to you. That's my qualifications. I serve as the first elder of a local Adventist church. But I'm a missionary. I work on the field. But I was glad I was able to answer you, sir. But I got to go.
But listen, yeah. But listen to me. Listen, let's be on the equal footing with this whole thing because I am a Seventh Adventist. What it's gonna do is I don't want to. God, listen. The church is God's appointed agency for the salvation of men.
All right, and you, sir, I will tell you the truth. Let me be a prophet now, seeing that you challenged me on that. You, sir, you are an ordained elder in the Adventist Church, and you are indeed an SLP. Good night, caller. Thank you for calling.
That's
That's it. Ay. I don't drink rum, so I got to drink orange juice when I need my high. That was a good call. Yes, let's get ourselves back together. Let's go over to Dominica, and then we will be... Okay, we have another call. Caller, you on the air.
Brother Garfield, good night.
Good night, sir.
Brother Garfield, you see why our country is in a lot of trouble? The last caller is trying to play game and ask you and try to question your credentials and what have you, when we all know that's not the subject matter. And then when you ask him, are you a UWP or Labour Party supporter? He said he's a no P. But then when you question him as to Philip J. Pierre's record for the year, he blatantly told you Philip J. Pierre is doing well. When we all know Philip J. Pierre in his 1 year in office, 1 year plus, is a total failure. I mean, and then he went on to make the revelation that he's an elder at the Seventh-day Adventist Church. I'm not going to question that. All I want to say is that to him, you're not fooling people. Be truthful and stop the game. Moving forward, Brother Gar, I want to talk on the CCJ.
Yeah.
We all know that we have problems with our judiciary. Our justice system in St. Lucia is in shambles. We have people that are currently incarceration and body leave. For years upon years, they cannot even get the case. The case cannot be heard. And yet still, if this Labour Party government was serious about reforming the justice system, they would have channeled their energies or focused on reforming, investing more money into the justice system so that the ordinary person can get the justice that they so desire. But why the haste for the CCJ? When all the other most of the Caribbean countries are staying away from that CCJ. When even Trinidad and Tobago, which is where the headquarters is based, is staying away from that. It doesn't want to touch that CCJ. When St. Vincent, I think a year or two, and correct me if I'm wrong, had a referendum and the people unanimously said that they voted against the CCJ. Why they voted against the CCJ? Because they're up.
But Ralph Gonsalve actually did right in bringing it to the people. And
that's what I'm saying.
Right. But that's the best thing to do, because let me tell you, caller, what's going to happen in St. Lucia this week is that the Constitution, which is the Bible of the island, there is going to be amendment made to that Constitution. Now, that is a massive move.
Exactly. And then you said it, this is a level of disrespect by this current St. Lucia Labour Party government. Heritage, you have a justice system reform, such as going to the CCJ. And one would expect that the government in its fairness, that's the word I want to use here, would take it to the people, have a vote, have a referendum, take it to the people and say, look, we thinking of going to the CCJ. What say you? And put it to the people, put a vote. Right. And if the people say this is where they want to go, they would go. If the people say we don't want to go there, then you have to accede as a government, and the voice of the people precedes everything, supersedes everything. But no, there are a lot of people in St. Lucia currently, Brother Garfield, who do not even understand what the CCJ means. You question them as to the CCJ, they will tell you that they're not even aware what is the CCJ.
Yeah.
There was not any education in regards to CCJ. So to just story down the throats of St. Lucia shows you the mindset of this current Labour Party government. It's communism in a disguised way. When you hear Philip J. Pierre, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre, and I say Prime Minister in a nice way, telling his supporters to remind Flubbers we lose, and then saying Flubbers must go away. Ali. That is subtleness of dictatorship, that we want to create a one-party state in our country. We have to be mindful, and we have to be careful, and we have to pay close attention to the trend of this current Labour Party government, that they want to create St. Lucia to a one-party state. Today, just because, like you, Brother Garfield, and like others, I'm vocal because I believe in my country. I love my country. I genuinely want what's best for my country. The Labour Party and the hacks going after me personally on Facebook, to the point where they're going after my mother on social media, on Facebook.
Wow, that's big news.
That's how low That's how low the Labour Party and its operatives will go, because they want to silence people who have the courage and who have the gonads to speak out. But I'm sending a message to them tonight through your medium, Brother Garfield, and if you would permit me.
Yes.
No matter what you say on social media, whether on Facebook or otherwise, that would not prevent me from speaking out, from voicing my opinion, because everybody have a constitutional right to express their opinion.
That's right.
Once it's respectful, once it's not defamatory, once you don't defame people, they have a right to speak out. And that is the trend of the government, the Labour Party government, since they got into office. But Garfield, tomorrow, this government spoke so much about borrowing. They made borrowing a sin. We all know all governments must borrow. That's a given. That's a no-brainer. Mm-hmm. But when Alan Chastanet was in office, they made such a hullabaloo about borrowing. And tomorrow, they're going to borrow. And this is a situation we face right now. So tomorrow
they have been borrowing in the past.
They have been borrowing, but you see, they made borrowing a sin.
I think they have borrowed about $500 million EC dollars by now.
This is the situation. Yeah. So tomorrow they go into the Parliament of St. Lucia and they're borrowing $100 million US, which is equivalent to 271 million EC dollars from the Export-Import Bank of the Republic of China for budgetary support. I don't know what that means. I know that there was last a budget, so I'm kind of confused.
It seems like there's a shortfall in the budget, in the income.
And then they're going to borrow a further 30 million US or 81 million EC from the International Development Association to finance COVID-19 response.
What response is that?
I'm confused again, because this is the same Labour Party in opposition who said there was no COVID.
Let me ask you, just hold a minute. Let me just say something to the public, those who are viewing. Now, I am asking the Mr. Pear to give the people of St. Lucia the money that's going to be borrowed tomorrow for the COVID response. Give it to the people. Give it to the people. You're borrowing the money. Take that money and give it to the people of St. Lucia. And that's my request tonight. You won. Go ahead.
Right. So this is the same Labour Party, Brother Garfield and St. Lucia. Those who listen to your program would remember that they said there was no COVID, that organized a protest march in the midst of the pandemic. You remember that, Brother Garfield and St. Lucia? And after that protest march, the numbers spiked.
Yeah.
Who said, when Alan Chastanet said, we have to get the vaccination rate up for those who wanted to be vaccinated. They made all sorts of allegations about the vaccine that Alan Chastanet sought for St. Lucia. Today we're hearing that tomorrow they're going to be borrowing 30 million US or 81 million EC dollars for COVID response. What COVID response? And when they're keeping the numbers secret, only this week, a few days ago, we had 38 new COVID-19 cases, 4 deaths. 4 people died of COVID. Did you hear that on the news, Brother Garfield?
Yes.
That was kept a secret.
I saw that document released from the Ministry of Health, I believe it is.
That is correct, but it was kept a secret. Then as soon as they came into office, you would remember, and St. Lucia, who listening, would remember that during the Alan Chastanet administration, you had weekly updates, in fact, daily updates from to the GIS, the NTN. There was a command center. If information was filtered to the public.
Yeah.
Dominic Fady and Alan Chastanet would come. The CMO was very vocal. She would come. The police commissioner, all the stakeholders gave weekly updates as to the management of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah.
The Labour Party came in 1 year later, changed the whole name of the command center, and to date, not one single update. We do not know what the government is doing, and COVID is still with us. Let us not be fooled about that.
Well, let's hope that they can make a statement tomorrow on it.
So I am questioning, what is that money being borrowed for when it comes to this so-called COVID-19 response? I'm confused. I'm perplexed.
I think they will explain it tomorrow, but let's keep that space. Let's watch that space. Because we're saying, look, the people have suffered enough. They have not received any income support. Let's give it to our nurses, our doctors. They were promised that during the elections. Let's give it to the people. Borrow it. It's okay to borrow it. It is all right. You demonize borrowing. It is okay, but give it to the people now.
And listen to this, Brother Garfield. The last sitting of Parliament, which was July 12th, the Labour Party government borrowed 130 million EC dollars. To date, as we speak, they have borrowed since the Labour Party got into office from July 2021. They have borrowed in the tune of 480 million EC dollars, which is almost $500 million from July 2021 to date. But this is the same Labour Party who criticized Alan Chastanet, who said that Alan Chastanet was borrowing and wasting money. When you're borrowing all that money, you're borrowing 100 million US or 271 million EC dollars for budgetary support. When you just passed the budget, what is that about? It means that the fiscal situation in St. Lucia, the finances of St. Lucia is in trouble. We are in serious trouble. And then the government of the Labour Party criticized Alan Chastanet government when Alan Chastanet had in his wisdom to put a little $1.50 extra on the gas to fix the roads. And you saw roads were being fixed all over the country.
I have some other calls coming in. Yes. Yep. Go ahead.
They said when they will win the election, they will remove that $1.50 on the gas also. To date, they still have that $1.50 and our roads are not being fixed. Our roads are in a terrible situation. Brother Garfield, we have to continue to speak. I enjoy your program. Keep doing what you're doing. Forget the detractors. Keep focused. You're doing what you're doing. And at the end of the day, your conscience is clear. Have a good show. Have a good night, Brother Garfield, and keep up the good work.
Thank you. I'm not going to give you the other music. You did well tonight. All right? Let's go over to Dominica quickly, and then we'll take your calls. Quickly.
The Prime Minister will not consider that. Otherwise, you'll have to increase everybody else.
Just bear with me. Bear with me, folks. I'm a one-man army tonight, so bear with me. Good. Okay, let's get it over.
There is a motion before the floor. I'm going to put it to the floor now. It has been moved and seconded that Standing Order 41-6 be suspended so that the Leader of the Opposition be permitted to have the same time taken by the Prime Minister or Minister of Finance for his reply to the budget, Ministers 1 hour and other members 30 minutes as provided by the rules. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it. I just want to remind the Leader of the Opposition that the rules pertaining to debate are applicable for his reply. That is to say, those various rules to be found in certain standing orders for rules of debate and all the others, they are as well applicable as during an ordinary debate. And that includes being tedious and...
Okay, we'll get back to Dominica. That one is a little lengthy. I wanted to show you something there. But let's go to a clip here that I want you to pay attention to, all right? Tonight we're going to be presenting a lot of clips, but it's almost there.
Let's vote against them in the country's parliament. After an over 10-hour-long debate on the motion that went into the wee hours of Wednesday morning, 11 government MPs voted in support of their leader, while 6 opposition MPs supported the motion. In the end, the ruling United Workers' Party used its majority in the House to hand Chastanet the victory.
The motion before the House now is that the question be now put. I now put the question. As many as are of that opinion, say aye. Aye. As many as of a contrary opinion, say no. No. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it.
While the motion was defeated, Leader of the Opposition Philip J. Pierre told reporters that it had achieved its goal. He says the party knew that it would not win the war, but won the battle of getting the public to listen, as he used the parliamentary platform to outline the reasons why the opposition believes that Chastanet has failed as a leader.
The public of St. Lucia saw that ministers and members of the United Workers' Party who said awful things about the Prime Minister in private and at his back came to Parliament and in a show of so-called togetherness voted for him. We have no issue with that. But our point is made. A lot of the lies that were said yesterday, we can tell you that they were not true, like the issue relating to the minister and his wife being involved in the business. I have the documents which I can make available to you. and I leave it to you to prove whether it's right or wrong. I think that our struggle continues.
Meanwhile, Chasney's team has argued that he has been a good leader who has made inroads in developing education and infrastructure. Supporters of the ruling United Workers' Party and the opposition St. Lucia Labour Party converged outside the House of Assembly to support their MPs. The no-confidence motion was filed by the leader of the opposition in November 2018. The opposition has vowed to move into stage 2 of its mission, which includes a national public meeting on January 31st in the heart of St.
Now, folks, I'm heading over to the United Workers' Party. And this is going to get very interesting. Now, you realize that Mr. Pear said that there were persons in Mr. Chasney's cabinet who had conversations with him, and they were bad-talking the Prime Minister behind his back. Now, we're going down a little through, this is what we call a rendezvous, and we are going down memory lane, all right? I'm building up to something, and stay with me for a minute. Don't even wink, or you're going to miss this one. Stick with me, folks. And I spoke about the Labour Party. I'm going to speak about you people, you United Workers' Party people, all right? I'm going to have a conversation with you, and I want to thank all our YouTubers. Tonight we had record numbers on YouTube, and I want to thank all of you for being there. Remember to like and follow this page. You got to like and follow it, all right? So let me go back to this situation. So you heard it from Mr. Pear's, you heard it from Mr. Pear's mouth that there was people within the United Workers' Party, basically, who had made a deal with him, set him up, make him look like a fool by guaranteeing him that they were going to join him in the no vote of confidence. You saw in that clip in the House, you had Mr. King sitting there next to the Prime Minister and all the other leaders there, and they're all celebrating and are happy. But if you look at Mr. King carefully, he was not looking too happy, He was not too comfortable. Me see how mem gade kodi they constipated yourself. If you look at him carefully. You understand what I'm saying? Good. So let's look at it carefully. So Mr. Chasney, and I'll tell you why I appreciate Mr. Chasney even more tonight. Mr. Chasney did not lose the election because he was not a good leader. He lost that election because there were persons in the United Workers' Party and there were persons in his cabinet that was constantly working against his administration. Period. Make no bones about this. Now, if you allow those same persons to get back into leadership in your party, you're going to have a worse situation than this. It's going to get bad. Now, we have a thing as young boys, we say it's going to get worser. It can have pli mauvais. You hear me? And trust Mr. Pear. There are times you got to trust people. Let's trust what he said, that, look, there were guys in the Man Party who was talking about him. You can't win with a divided camp. Period. I can tell you this. You cannot win with a divided camp. So that day, Mr. Pear was expecting a massive move of politicians from the United Workers' Party to the Labour camp in support of him to get Mr. Chasney out. Are you surprised with what is happening today in the United Workers' Party? That the Labour Party is laughing and the Labour Party is doing everything in their power to sink the United Workers' Party. You heard what Mr. Pear said on Sunday. He said, Dio ale, 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 ale. That's the agenda for them to ale, ale, ale. That's the agenda. There are persons who are working that agenda within the camp, and they must be exposed. And if you watch this space is going to break the news. This space is going to expose a political system that should have already been well greased and oiled and ready to represent the people of St. Lucia. St. Lucia is a two-party system. When I say two-party, it is you have an opposition and you have a government in power. You have an opposition and you have a government. All right? You cannot just have a government really in a democracy and have no opposition. It's not right. That's why Barbados Prime Minister, what she did when she had secured all the seats, and she's she's a nice lady. She appointed an opposition person there. Who was the opposition person? One, I think the guy was in her own party. And then he break ties with them or whatever it is. All right? So watch this space. Let's go. I have something else to show. Folks, you don't know how this system is working. Let's go to another problem that some of you acting like you can't remember things in the United Workers' Party. Some of you acting like you have short memory and your head not good. You're acting like you're from Mars. And I'm speaking to you people, you UWP people. Don't play no games here. Don't play any games with the people. I'm going to expose the game now. Go ahead, we have more coming.
Richard Frederick was confident of a deputy leadership position in his United Workers' Party before the announcement, probably owing to his lead in the early count.
Now, hold a minute. Now, you see Mr. Richard knocking his chest saying that I won, we won, I won. Did you see that? I got the keys to the BM. Let's go.
And turned into abject disappointment when the results were announced. The dynamic parliamentary rep for Castries Central failed in his bid to become one of the two deputy leaders of the party. Frederick contested the position against three other candidates, Guy Mayers having withdrawn from the contest even before it began. The vocal Castries Central delegation left the convention, evidently upset at the results. Frederick did not want to comment on the outcome of the poll, but some in his camp believed there was something awfully irregular. The Castries Central delegation walked out before the new executive could be introduced. Party leader Stevenson King says the UWP would have to deal with that situation.
Though they walked out this evening, I believe what has to happen is to allow good sense to prevail, and for the leadership of the party to speak with Richard Frederick. They have agreed that tomorrow we'll have a recount of the ballots to ensure that, nothing really went wrong, and to be satisfied that the process was clean, the process was fair, and he was given an opportunity.
From all indications, this was one of a few low points of the convention 3 years overdue. Some in the party attributed the walkout to raw emotion. The leading vote getter, Leonard...
So the truth is, I don't understand the 3 years overdue. I really don't understand this, but I will make a statement after. Let's go back to the clip, folks.
Found disappointment.
We are a team, and at the end of the day, you congratulate who emerges, and we move on as one and work together as a team. For it is not only in leadership that there is a role to be played. One can play a role at any level whatsoever. And if I wasn't successful, that's exactly the attitude I would have adopted.
The other deputy leader, Ezekiel Joseph, described the incident as unfortunate.
We went for a democratic process, and if the delegates, the majority of delegates have decided that these are the individuals that they want to represent them at that level, we should accept this. And that's the problem we have in the party. If they were called unfortunate, but I want to say that I'm hoping that at least good sense will prevail and they realize that the delegates have spoken, and we at least will be all embracing and will do what we think is best for the interest of the party.
The result of the election means that Dr. Keith Mondesi has been bumped off the executive in favor of Ezekiel Joseph. Frederick, who many thought would have occupied one of the two deputy positions, came last in the polling behind Montoute Joseph and Dr. Mondesi. Clinton Reynolds, HTS News, Channel 4.
Now, folks, I'm just steaming up on this platform. You all realize in that picture there are a number of persons who were key, those who were vying for leadership, those who missed it by an inch. Do you realize that all those who missed the leadership by an inch, where they end up? Opposing the United Workers' Party? Folks, I want you to think and reason, Come, let us reason. Let's talk. Let's talk, folks. Let's talk about it. Let's reason, man. Now, you realize that all those who were speaking on the platform there, now, I don't want to cause any disruptions to a process. But you realize a number of them are muted. None of them, they're not speaking publicly in support of the United Workers' Party. They're not speaking about the ills in the society and the mismanagement or anything. You realize that they are saying nothing. They are just quiet. I have a solution to this problem. And my solution is you need new blood. You need a fresh team that is united and focused on the people. If you got anything from Mr. Dominica, Prime Minister, you got to look out for people. It looks like these guys were looking out for themselves. Every one of them. But I have a bombshell to drop, but I'm very careful with it. But I'm saying to you folks, you got to pay attention. Don't get emotional. Pay attention. Righteousness always prevails. Remember that. And truth never lose a case, a battle. Truth. And you see, persons who are not genuine, they always get exposed at some point. Persons who are power hungry, they will play their hand. They will overplay their hand at some point. Remember this, folks. Do not make these mistakes. Now, I want to remind Mr. Pear about a victory by the United Workers' Party. So, Mr. Pear said, remind them that they lose. So, let me just remind the United Workers' Party what happened to them. All right?
St. Lucia has a new government. Alan Michael Chasney has been sworn in as the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. He took the oath of office before the island's Governor General on Tuesday, just a few hours after he led his United Workers' Party, the UWP, to an 11 seats to 6 victory over the St. Lucia Labour Party, the SLP. The UWP's victory at the polls was a stunning one for the country after renowned Caribbean pollsters predicted a tight race to the finish. Leader of the St. Lucia Labour Party and immediate past Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony said in a statement last night that he will not take up the position of Leader of the Opposition or continue as leader of the storied political party, the St. Lucia Labour Party. Now, as we speak, ballot recounting in 2 of the country's 17 constituencies is underway. The official figures for the 2016 general elections are expected to be released on Wednesday. From Castries, St. Lucia, Alison Kentish, Telesur.
And we want to thank Miss Kentish. I don't know where I don't know if she's still in the media, but I want to thank her for that report. All right. Yes, we have a break there, but just bear with us. The system is acting up for some reason. Boy, listen to me. You think those things are easy? Huh? You think those things are easy? Ah, no, friends, they're not. Just stick with this space. Just stick with me. We're getting there. We're almost there. We're almost finished. All right? So, just bear with us. Bear with us. Bear with us, folks. Yes, just bear, just stay, don't move. We are still here, just bear with us. Give us some time. Those of you on YouTube, we're just having some issues over on Facebook. Bear with us. Okay, just bear with us. Just bear with us. And we're going to get this We're going to get through. Yes, man. Just hang in. Don't leave. Hang in. Ay. Just bear. I'm coming. I soon come. All right, I believe that we're back now. Good. We're back. Yes, we had an issue there. Whoa. All right, so I'm just waiting for us to be fully upstreamed. There was an issue with the 2-hour FPS. Those of you who are in broadcast, you would know what our FPS is. Yes, we are back. And we had a frame rate of 15-60 FPS. And that is not enough. That was not enough to carry the broadcast. As I said to you, we have the best internet up here, here in my neck of the woods. And let it go ahead. Yeah. Kita yo voye tout se de muyo. Anyway, let's go forward now. So, as I was saying to you, you know, y'all just stay put. Don't stay put. Just hang in there. We're back up. I can see the report. The signal is clear now. There was a rough low frequency at some first time it has ever happened to the broadcast, and it happened when I'm speaking about Tutsi Nixla. Yeah? Okay, so I got the message. So yes, my friends, I was thrown off a bit, but the lines are open. You can call. We're going to finish very shortly at 10. So the lines are open. I want to hear from you, our listeners, but I'm saying to you, most of the persons who are not within your party, you can trace them right back to a leadership struggle. Not last year, not the year before. It's deep. And it is best sometimes that you let people go. Sometimes it's, yes, some of them were born in the thing and they were there for a long time. But the party does not belong to one family. It does not belong to one individual. It belongs to St. Lucia. All right? It belongs to St. Lucia. And I'm saying to you folks, don't you ever give up on your party. Don't you ever do it, because there's a psychological game, and I want to break it down for you at some point. There's a psychological game for you to be so disappointed in your party that you will not even have the appetite to go out and exercise your rights as a citizens. And I'll say to you, it is a nasty game, and it is not good for the democracy of the country. Persons like that are playing with the not only the Constitution, but they're playing with the democracy of a nation. If you are part of the Labour Party, stay in your party and work your best to win, and that's fair. If you're in the United Workers' Party, you do your best. You do your best to ensure that your leadership with their vision goes into government. And that's how it is. But what you have is this kind of switch in, out. Some want to be in. They want to be in bed with their friends who have left the camp and have gone over to the St. Lucia Labour Party as so-called independents. This is what is happening, folks. There are persons in your party that are connected to persons who have left. And their intention is to punish this party, is to punish it, not because of Mr. Chasney. Punish the party because you, the delegates, did not vote to get them as political leader. So you are being punished. Don't fall for the trick. And I call on all those delegates and organizations in the different communities of St. Lucia. Don't be fooled. You delegates demand of your chairmen and your leaders in your local chapters. Demand of them. Speak to them. And if you find that they're in bed with those powers that have left, speak up. Don't protect anyone. This is the right time to deal. Because there's not going to be any elections in the next few months. There's no wisdom in it. Get organized. You see the same battle over and over and over in every time the United Workers' Party get to the point of electing a leader, all hell break loose because everybody wants to be the leader. It's my turn now, like you're playing tic-tac or you're playing baby house or in the river on the bank. It's my turn now. Who gave you a turn? The people will decide whose turn it is. If you believe you can serve your country, you can serve your party, put your name in, but don't hold up the process. You are worse than some who have been there and left. You are worse than them because you are ensuring that you cripple the chances of your party taking the reign of government. And you know fully well that when your party takes reign of government, that the people are glad most of the times, and you can see changes. You can see the difference. People are not too much afraid. And I'm saying to you, United Workers' Party people, if you get into power and there's a Labour Party person who is working good, leave the person alone. If you realize that they're boycotting and they're trying to undercut, then you take action. But if they're good for the job, they are St. Lucians, leave them alone. I'm not speaking about in the Prime Minister's office. You got to clean that place up with chemical and everything else. You got to mop it. You got to make sure you come in with security people to ensure that it's not bugged. There's no electronics. There's no wiring all over it. Now, just a little birdie in my ear saying some stuff. But you got to do what you got to do, and don't be naive. You're going to have different of opinions. People are going to like the way your leadership. I have people who don't like my leadership. They don't like it. They hate it with a passion. But I'm a leader. I got to lead in spite of. I got to put on my big boy drawers and get to work. Well, we used to call it parachute in the days. Underwear that fit you from your knee right up to your head. But let's get to work. Let's pull ourselves together and get to work on behalf of the people. Because there are voices that you will no longer have if you continue playing these games. So get to work. Get organized. And again, don't any one of you think at any time that you own the party. It is clear that you do not own it. The power is always with the people. You can have all your secret meetings and all your games playing. And I declare to you that the person that you are waiting for to come down or to come across or to come up, it ain't going to happen. Why? Because righteousness always win. You know what righteousness is? Right doing. Always win the battle. So I say to you, Flabos, you have nothing to fear. Allow the process to go through. If the people say, Mr. Shasta, that's who it is. If they say, the question mark is still there because you don't know who the next person is. Huh? To help the process, I should put my name in. But get to work, folks. I want to hear from you. The number is 929-586-1821. There was some of you were calling earlier, and the line was jammed. It was busy. A number of you. So, and I have some good news. I have some good news on the soup kitchen, and I'm not going to call names, but I want to thank the person who reached out to me, the family who reached out to me on Sunday. And I can say to you that it looks like we are very close to getting the land in St. Lucia. Very close. All right, I'll be coming down so we can meet with the owners, the land owners, and we can have a talk. But it looks like we're on. I ain't see no rejoicing, no dancing. You all waiting for music? I ain't playing no music tonight. But we are on, and I just want to say thank you for reaching out. The person know themselves. Most of you know those people on the island, but I'm not going to be getting into that now. Caller, you're on the air. Caribbean American News Network.
How are you, Brother Garfield?
Yes, my friend.
You good?
Yes, man. I'm good. I'm sitting here drinking my
very
orange
good
juice.
program.
Repeat?
Very, very, very good, very interesting program. I don't have too much to say. I'm just going to reiterate.
Oh, yes, this is my friend.
In
yes.
fact, I should just say to all on the live tonight and on YouTube that they should have paid very close attention because that was a lesson in itself. Now, the next thing I'm going to say, though I shouldn't even.
Yes.
However, this person who called earlier, very irritating, and I hope he's listening. He says he's an elder in the church. An elder in the church would behave a lot better than you, sir. You're not behaving like an elder, one. And two, rather than come and trouble Brother Garfield about trying to assist solutions, why don't you get up, put your big boy pants on and do the same, one? And two, did you ever call Joachim and ask him not to campaign when he was, and he's sitting in the House of Parliament right now? So I hope he's listening. Anyway, we have a lot to do in St. Lucia. I think we have a lot to dissolve.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
I do want to laugh, I'm sorry.
No, we have a lot to dissolve.
Yes.
We've got quite a few constituency branches and so-called whatever you want to call it to dissolve and get UWP back on its foot, on good footing.
Yeah.
Because if we don't, I hope people listen, because I did listen to Pierre on Sunday, was it?
Yeah, Sunday.
Sunday or Saturday evening. Saturday. I think it was Saturday. I hope everybody listened. And if you didn't listen, go back and have a listen to what he said to his followers. Because apparently the man is not prime minister for all. He's prime minister for some. So guys, let's all put on our boots and let us march down to Parliament. There are things that we can stop. Let us stop being so afraid. Nobody's going to kill us. I've seen it happen before. I've watched it happen. I was only little, but I can tell you when numbers come together, people, they pay attention, especially government. Especially government.
Yep.
So, all in all, St. Lucians, let's get together and do this, and let's stop acting like we need to have a convention before we put our feet down. Our feet need to go down now more than ever before. We cannot wait for a convention. With a convention would not change would not change the minds. UWP having a convention is not going to change Philip J. Pierre's mind on what he's doing, you know.
Yeah.
The only thing that will change his mind is if he sees numbers outside of Parliament.
Yep.
He sees people, he knows that we're against what he's doing. That is when he's going to get up and say, you know what, boy,
yeah.
That's a lot of people. Let me do something different.
Yeah. Wow.
That's all I can say. I can't say too much more.
No.
I'll give somebody else a chance to call.
And my favorite caller, I appreciate you so much. I hope you come to our dinner in December.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I look forward to meeting you as well.
Yeah, I heard that one of our representatives.
There's a lot to talk about when you get here.
Yeah, one of our representatives on the island, they're trying to secure a venue in Castries, I believe, because you can't get, I don't think that we'll be able to get any of the government buildings because some of these people think that when the government is in power, the buildings become theirs. So we are very close. Someone has a meal planned and a lot of stuff is going on behind the scenes. And we're hoping to raise $5,000. A lot of hampers will be given away. It's going to be a big event, and St. Lucians will be happy at the end of our visit there to St. Lucia in December. But thank you, caller. You're my favorite.
So, Brother Garfield, whilst I have you on the phone, so what do you really need? A venue to host?
About 150 to 200 people.
150 to 200 persons.
200, yeah, it might be more.
All right. So I'm not making promises, but I'm going to work on it. I will call you. Can I call you on this number when we off? Not tonight, but maybe later during the week.
I'm going to text you my private number.
Show? Please do.
I will do,
Please.
yes.
So you give me a call. We'll talk more in depth, and then I'll see what I can do with reference to finding the venue.
You see why you're my favorite caller?
And then I'll explain to you what I'm into and stuff, so you'll see why I can work on it. It's not going to be a task.
Okay, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Thanks for standing up for St. Lucia. Thank you so much.
I'm here for the long haul.
All right.
Thank you. Yes. Folks, there you have it. That was my favorite. Not that some of you are not my favorite, but this is my favorite, extra favorite caller. But we're going to be in St. Lucia. Let me just talk about it now. We're going to be having a dinner for the elderlies, the less fortunate in St. Lucia. A team is being put together, and we're going to have a meet and greet also. A lot of people said, I want to meet you. I want to meet you. So we're going to have a meet and greet. I understand it's going to be massive, big one. And for the senior citizens, we're hoping to get transportation to bring you. We want to do the event as early as possible so that at least we can get you back home in a reasonable time. And there's going to be some giveaway. We will make an official announcement. We'll have the team coming up to explain to you, the people. And we hope that we're going to have a beautiful time in December. It is shifted up. It's going to be before the 25th of December. We're trying to do the fundraising now. We're asking persons. We want to raise at least $5,000 to help and to get this thing going. All right, it's going to be big. We're going to sit. We're going to eat. We're going to have fun. We're going to just forget about all the stress and all the stuff, and just be good and thank God for life. We can breathe and everything. You might have arthritis, but listen, God has been good to us, and we are ever grateful. Sometimes we complain too much, and we don't give enough thanks. But and I always, like I said at the meeting in Queens, that we got to be a great nation that is grateful. You got to say thanks. We got to learn how to say thanks, and we appreciate you. We got to teach ourselves how to do it. I realize that we can be very cruel as a people to each other, and we can you imagine people praying for you to go to jail? Can you imagine this? People praying for you to be caught in some slackness so that they can rejoice and have a party. People laugh when husbands beat their wives. People laugh when girlfriends are being slapped in the streets. They take their pictures and they enjoy the laugh. And you hear them, bally, 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 plea, bally, plea, bally, plea. And they use the other words to tell you how, to how to administer the licks. But I'm saying, man, we should celebrate the goodness of the country. There's a lot more good than bad. You have the beaches, you have the fresh air, you have all the fruits, and there's a lot going for your country. It is not all doom and gloom. It is not all end of life thing, crisis coming soon, but he says, occupy till I come. And so enjoy your country, and enjoy the beach, enjoy the scenery, and enjoy everything, all right? But be grateful. And always remember to say thank you. No matter whether you're paying somebody, say thanks to them still. Say thanks. And that's why I said to Mr. Chastney, thank you for leading the country during the COVID crisis. I said to him, thank you on behalf of the people. He have not heard that yet from a lot of people. I believe government should be able to say thank you to other governments. Thank you, sir, for your service. Thank you for your contribution towards the development of a nation. We are all in it together, all right? But listen to me. We're going to have a beautiful time. You're going to meet myself, and I know a lot of you love Mr. Charles, and we're hoping by then I can do his wedding that same day. I'm going to perform Mr. Charles' wedding that very day, all right? So whoever you are and you're not married and you're looking for a husband, I pronounce Mr. Charles ready at this time. I know some of you say, oh, Mr. Charles is too loud. He was when he's telling me he loves me, he's going to be shouting it all over the place. Hey, listen to me. Buy air muffins and I'm marrying you all. But he's a good man. He loves his country. And some of you say he talk too loud, as I said, but listen to me, man. You can't, you got to accept the man with the voice, all right? You got to accept. It's best you have a man who is loud than a man who beats you and do all kind of foolishness and have Teresa down the road and he have, I always remember this Facebook thing where the lady said, I always forget his name, Ricardo Mete Mafate. Ricardo, Mwado Mete Mafate. So, I see Mr. Charles already. Upakay ni pou di pièce. Upakay ni pou di Charles mette ma afate. Upakay ni pou faire ça because he will take care of you. Now, Mr. Charles put forward a name for his wedding, but I got to screen that name properly because I not giving you all counseling and no divorce. All the way. So, who's that? Julia? So if you get married and Marvin start talking loud in the night, don't come to me. Pavi nek di mwe, mwen vle divorce mi si I also have. So, leave him alone. Leave my friend alone, my little friend over there. You all realize what they try to do? They try to say to us, to get rid of Charles, he's no good. To get rid of him, look at who you all... You see how nasty we can be. They say, look, he's no good. He's a St. Lucian. He loves this country. What do you mean he's no good? And look at who Chas is associating with. Poor Chas don't even know Marvin have a studio there doing his thing at nights. Huh? Chas don't even know that. But they try to say, look who, look. Why? He's a human being. Man love his country. He has a passion. The only thing I don't like with Marvin is when he put on his school dresses and they're flashing it all over Facebook. I don't know how his wife is going to deal with that, all this fancy dress he has in the house. All I can say to Charles, marry somebody who is not your size so you can't fit into their clothes. That's all I can tell you, brother. That's the solution to the problem. But Marvin is a good man. He loves his country. And, I believe that, you're going to meet us at that venue. It's going to be big. It's going to be nice. The committee, there's a secret committee working. You don't worry. Those of you who would want to help, just inbox me. Use any of the lines that you have for me. Let me know that you want to be involved, and we will want to know the amount of people who would be there. It is in December. So just... Somebody say, let him... The wife of Mr. Charles said it's okay. Let him be himself. So you see, it's a good relationship started there. She said she can deal with that. Next thing you start fighting, you're asking Marvin, where you put my dress? Sorry, I'm just playing around. Let me get serious. Marvin, go with him. But I guess that's just his entertainment. But you know what, it is what it is. So what do I say? I make myself happy in different ways. You make yourself happy in different ways. But I say to you, anything we do, it must be, pleasing to the Lord. And we got to, check with him first before we do anything. But again, if you want to help, and we need a lot of help, those of you in the United States, we need your help. Those in Canada and England, whatever you can do to help us, we will need it. We are not the type that will collect monies from you and then put it in the bank and cuss you off at the end of it. We're not doing that. You will see where it is going. It is going to impact the vulnerable in St. Lucia. And I will say to you, if the United Workers' Party would get their act together and take care of the needs of the people, you do not have to be in government to help people. There's a lot you can do to organize on their behalf. There's a lot of food supplies that the United Workers' Party can get to distribute to the people of St. Lucia. But some of them are so busy fighting for power that they just run over the ordinary person. And that's why I get upset, folks. That's why I get very annoyed. They can do. You don't have to be in power to help. Charles is not in power. I'm not in power. And I've done my my fair share. And I was saying to Charles today, look, there are people with house roof need to be repaired. There are persons who need a proper home. These little things you can go to business people and ask them for help. They will give it to you because they know that you'll be in power at some point. They will want you to give them contracts. So why don't you say to them, look, I ain't doing no exchange or nothing. I need some help for these senior citizens down the road. I need help for this project. Look, I spoke about the soup kitchen. Not one of them called me. Power hungry. Think about the people. You got to think about the people. You're full of yourself. It's all about you. All of you I'm speaking to. Massive project like that. Not one of you call and say, man, this is a good idea. I need to get involved. I can help with organizing. I can help you put the proposal or plan together. Nothing at all. And you have ribbon cutting and they come with their big yellow shirt and yellow tie like they're the sun, and they take over the show. The people who work and contribute, they sit in the back seat while the haw-haws in the front with their foot lap. And that's what we have to protest about. And that's why we have to demand fair treatment to all, the educated, the uneducated. And I've seen how some of them deal with people. Because you can't speak English, you come to them and the way they push up their face and they try to avoid you. We see that and we got to expose it and we got to bring it to an end. We got to say to politicians, look, you're not going to treat me like that today and I vote for you tomorrow. I can guarantee you I would not. And I don't care whether I'm UWP or SLP. If you treat me like that, I am not rewarding you. You got to demand, you got to force them to be humble. Force them to be in your communities. You got to force them to be kind. Force them and let them go home and cry under their bed at the end of the day. But we got to start. You the people got to demand it. Don't let nobody say, Parfait Pearson say, well, Papi show. And when they're talking to you and you don't understand what they're saying to you, if they say besmirch or they say disillusioned, tell them to speak English so that you can understand. Because some of them know very well that some of you don't understand these big terms. And they got to break things down so that you can make decisions, you can understand what they're saying. That is active communication. Don't let them come in up big words to you. Nah. Let them break down the words, man. Not everybody went to school. Not everybody can read. Not everybody have that at that level. And to be an effective leader, you must be able to reach all classes of people. Now, I'm not going to say much. Let's see if we can get 2 more calls and then we'll close. But I just wanted to say that. All right? Now, yes, you got to sit. You got to say to them, look, say to them, enough is enough. No more. When they come to your house during elections, just tell them, look, I don't have an appetite for this. Just tell me what you're going to do for my community. Yeah. And if they say something to you and it's not realistic, tell them, don't try that. Go and come back. But don't entertain any nonsense anymore. Don't entertain any chicken back, nothing. We will give you the chicken back. Don't take it from them. You hear me? Don't take anything from them. Good. So let me say this, folks. We need your help in a big way. We're going to cover the island, and I heard the planning folks said that what we're going to do, this is just an idea, I believe. The person who is speaking to me, I believe she is the leader because she sounds like a leader. She's way ahead of the game. But what she was saying is a week of activities we're having, then we'll have the dinner. It means that there'll be hampers distribution. We'll be going from constituencies to constituencies. We'll be going from one district to the other, meeting the shut-ins, those who cannot come out, the senior citizens. We will be in the community. We'll be covering the island as much as we can because I want to, anytime I come to St. Lucia, I always ask the church for a list of the shut-ins. It is something that I love to do. And so I want to meet as much shut-ins and senior citizens as I can. I also want to visit some of the nursing homes, the senior homes and the hospitals. I want to do as much visit as I can. So what I plan to do is to write the Minister of Ecclesiastical Affairs, Mr. Churchman, and I'm going to ask him to give me, whatever blessings that I need to get into some of these institutions. But we're going to get to work. It's going to be a lot, but I'm willing to be out there and meet those people where they are. And, we get to work. All right. But those of you who will be coming, let us know. We need to know numbers so that we can know how we're catering. We don't want to cook extra food and it has to go to waste. We don't want to plan and, we don't know what we're planning about. We want to know whether we're catering for 200 or 300 persons. That's what we need to know. And we also have to organize transportation to move persons from one area to the other for the event. It's going to be a big one, and we're going to be acknowledging some of the senior citizens, giving them tokens of appreciation, letting them know we thank them for their service to their country, and we really appreciate it. Those are things we don't do. So I am giving the United Workers' Party enough advice. Go and meet the people and take care of them. Come, bring yourselves together. If you serve the people, I guarantee you the people will reward you. If you take care of their needs, they will reward you. That's a winning argument. It's a winning argument. The party that can do that will be the winning party. But I would to God that you stop the fighting and you pull yourself together. Now, let me say something to those of you in the United States, England, and Canada. And I've said it before. You do not need to eat no big set of turkey and chicken this year. Just like there are families in Africa who wish they can get the crumbs from your table, there are persons in your country who will be happy to sit with their nice little Sunday best and sit with myself and other persons and feel loved and acceptable. There are persons out there that will love that, and it will boost their spirit. It will give them hope that there is hope in humanity. All they're hearing about is COVID death, one shooting, Prime Minister telling you protect the victory, Skerrit coming to tell you something else, another one tell you. All they're hearing is bad news all around them. That's enough to drive you into depression. Seniors go into depression quickly and they die. So we're trying to make those changes. So folks, so let's come together. Please take my number and indicate to me that, yes, I will be there. We will give you the date. It's going to be in December. I think there's going to be a holiday, the Monday or whatever it is. We'll be doing the whole week. And the Sunday, we're going to have the dinner leading up from that holiday. We'll make public announcement. But I just wanted you to help, all right? So those of you who have all the money hiding under the beds, those of you who are hiding money to go and buy Gucci shoes and Gucci bag for Christmas, those of you who are hiding the monies to give to people who don't even need it, to buy gifts for American people who don't even need it, give it to us and watch us work. And you watch your blessings at the end of it, all right? So seeing that we have no more telephone calls, I see Peter. Peter said he's going to be there. Peter, you're on the list. We'll do a master list. So once I see you indicate you're going to be there, I'm going to quickly pull out your name and book you, all right? So I have a seat there for my friend Peter. Yes, my friend Peter will get a first-class ticket to see me. All right. Yes. Marvin, we inviting everyone to Rat Island. Is that real? Is that it? Okay, let's not go there. Let me just go through some of the greetings before we close down. Let me see on YouTube. Our YouTubers are very peaceful and calm. A lot of them over there. We have Donovan and Wilson, all these brothers over there. Yes. All the nice people over there too. Yeah, man. That is like a private chat room over there. Beautiful place. Okay, so let's look at some of the texts here from you. Okay, I will dress you in all yellow. No other color. Top to bottom, Joy. Why are you dressing? Okay. Let me see here. There's a lady, I'm not reading her post because she's supposed to be the bride of Marvin, so I'm not going to trouble the waters. Yeah. Yes, thank you, my friend Joy. Georges. And my friend, Catherine St. Bernard. She's not going to be in St. Lucia, and I was looking forward to meeting you down there. Ay. Okay, that's all right. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. Molly said no food will go to waste. If you promise to come down and cook. But I heard I heard a menu and it sounds delicious, folks. It sounds delicious. Yeah. Okay. That's a great initiative. Thank you. My St. Lucia Mothers Group in New York has been sponsoring the St. Lucia's home every year. Well, why can't they join with us this year and let us go big? Yeah, I supplied 1 year the Dennery Nursing Home. The workers there are blessed, I can tell you that. I know, sister, I know exactly who you are. I know exactly who you are. I forget you. I know you well. You're my friend. You're the first one who was always, a long time you haven't messaged me, but you're always back and forth with me. I know you very well. Mm-hmm. And even what I want people to stop thinking, we in the diaspora have money to treat. We are working on to sacrifice to help those at home. It's true. And Miss Watt is right. We're working very hard, for the money and, there are bills to be paid. And A lot of people call every day. Somebody is in need and somebody's at their breaking end. And, we have to help. Yeah. But, some folks used to give the idea that when you're in the United States that you can get money easy, you can get money free. But you ask somebody who comes here and they cannot get a job and they're staying at a best friend or family and the family start treating them like trash because they're not contributing to and a lot of people invite you up here and believe it, be careful. And when you come, everything changes. When you're in the house 2-3 weeks, they start hitting pots, turning off light on you, sucking their teeth, complaining to your best friend and talking behind your back. It's not easy, trust me. A lot of people lose good relationships because they invite people up here in their homes and the people stay 1 week and they cuss them off. They do all kind of foolishness to them. So be careful. It's not easy. All right? And I believe that the apple is spoiling. So some of you in St. Lucia better off. Anyway, we got to go. So, folks, it was nice being with you. And listen to me. I always enjoy your company. And tonight, especially our YouTube viewers, you were great. Thank you for the support over there. I hope that you like and you follow, subscribe to the YouTube channel. For those of you who are on Facebook, follow, subscribe so that we can... Yeah, I know, Miss Ward, you get a lot of requests too. Yeah. Yes. We have a limited amount. So as a community, we have to come together now. And that's where the different caucuses is going to come into play. Like Miss Ward in Canada and here in Donna and those folks here in Brooklyn. And then England, we can come to England to help you all guys organize too. But it will take the unity of everybody, the sacrifice of everybody to be able to help. Let's not allow the pressure to be on one set of people. We got to come together and do our best. All right. Don't be. And I like Miss Fletcher. Miss Fletcher had the first time I saw her, it was downtown. Mr. Shastner was there. She is a wonderful person. And while she was dealing with the diaspora affairs, I'm telling you, I think she's a good person for that job. She did a beautiful job there. All right. Yeah, I know she did do a lot. All right, Miss Fletcher, I appreciate you, and I appreciate all the beautiful, encouraging communication, especially early in the morning. Thank you so much. So, folks, it's time for you to get to bed. Remember that you got to get 8 hours of sleep. It is good for you. It's good for your health. And drink plenty of water. Avoid a lot of sweet drinks, soft drinks, and juices. Don't try to eat and drink at the same time. And, make the best of what you have. The Prime Minister have already said to you that there's nothing that they can do to help you. Tomorrow is going to be very crucial in the House. The amendment, there's going to be a recommendation from the government for a constitutional amendment. This thing is big, and I don't know why that they were not in the media or out there educating the people on this serious matter. You just hear little talks about it and throw over there. Tomorrow there's going to be a debate on it. And watch the space, folks, but don't go on the NTN site and fight anybody and get yourself insulted. That's what happens over there now. Once you go and to follow the hearing, sometimes you have to leave because of the insults and the declassiness sometimes that you get. That you should not be there sometimes. But to God be the glory, folks. Have a beautiful night. Maybe I should pray for some of you tonight. Let's just have a word of prayer before I leave. Father, as we leave the platform, we thank you for a beautiful night of discussion. We thank you, God, even for those who came to disrupt what we're doing. Oh, God, we ask that you continue to guide us as a people, as a nation, and help that we may always remember that righteousness exalts a nation. And so, Father, we ask that you be with the political leaders, Lord. Be with the different parties, God. Intervene, Lord, in unrighteousness. Intervene in injustice, oh God. Intervene and let your will be done. So I pray for everyone under the sound of my voice. I ask for protection. I ask for healing. I ask, oh God, that you grant unto each and every one of them the desire of their hearts, and help that we may get all the funds and all the help that we need, Lord, to meet your people, to help your people who are in need. Thank you, Lord, for the family who have indicated their willingness to work with us with the land. I ask for a special blessing and protection on their lives. In Jesus' name, amen. So, folks, listen to me. Have a beautiful night, and we shall meet again by the grace of God. Amen. We shall meet again. My YouTube folks are not leaving over there. They're there locked in. All right, so folks, good night and goodbye.
Arrested and charged by police for allegedly perverting the course of justice. The acting Governor General, acting on the advice of the Prime Minister, has revoked the well-known attorney's senatorial appointment. On Thursday, the Prime Minister's office, in a statement confirming the arrest of the former Castries Central MP hopeful, indicated that a further statement would be forthcoming at the appropriate time once there was more information.